Well, there's no better way to start Grand National Day with a pint, a can of wine, and some proper English pub grub. Neil, how have the last 2 days been for you? Really treating me this afternoon.
It's all started with me. I mean, you had a wonderful self-service course the other day, didn't you? Which went brilliantly for me, as we all well know. And today, you've got a wine in can, okay? And you've got some brilliant fish and chips, and we're going to have sausage and mash.
At least it's organic, that's all I can say.
Well, let's finish that bit then. No, actually, interesting enough, the thing is now, is that if you think about it, you're actually coming racing. What we want to do is there's more can. Have you ever had a canned wine before?
When I was in Australia, I had wine in a bag.
You had wine in a bag? Okay.
Yeah, as they like to call it over there. But
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had wine from a can.
Well, it's getting more and more popular. I'll tell you what, open it up, pour yourself, because we're getting more and more wines in can.
Okay.
It's obviously got, in terms of recycling, it's really fantastic. And also, from a bar point of view, people can walk around with a can.
At least it comes with a lovely glass. Not quite drinking it from the can.
You got all sorts of. Come on, have a taste.
Cheers.
So Ella's going in there. Rosé, come on, let's give it. It's organic.
It's actually pretty good.
It's actually pretty good. Okay.
I have my doubts, but it's actually not too bad. And how about the food? Because we're in the courtyard here. There's so many different facilities and places to eat on the racecourse. You've obviously got Box Park.
Yeah.
You've got the Rose and Crown pub
Yes,
next door,
yes.
and this is the courtyard. What does this place offer for racegoers?
Well, it's brilliant. Another great example of walk-up, by the way. And Box Park is great. All the other places you've just been talking about. We've got our fish and chips. You've got lots of pies. I've already had a pie, by the way, behind the scenes. I got here early. But look at that butter, everybody. You have to go in on that as well. Nice mushy peas as well. Lots of pies. I've got my sausage and mash here as well. Just walk up, enjoy yourself. Get a canned wine, have a pint of Aintree, job done. But it's great, really, Ella, to be honest. I've been around the course, obviously, look at everything. Yesterday we had a complete contrast with the Pan Asian as well with Longmar. And everybody's got something to do on course now, which I love, as well as obviously the Red Rum Garden. And got the beach as well.
Something for everyone,
Yeah,
Neil.
absolutely. Just like the Grand National.
Just like the Grand
There's a runner
National.
for everybody, I think. Very open this year, don't you think?
Indeed, I think probably the most open national we've had in a couple of years. I
Yeah.
think even the outsiders, the bigger priced horses, you can make cases for. But who's your fancy in this year's Roundhouse Grand National, Neil?
Well, I just say, interesting enough, just one other thing I just want to say is that how many horses are really going to stay? That's my one thing. It's very, very open. I completely agree. But I'm going for Montes Star, that sort of Grade 1 class. Okay, that was probably a bit too high for him. I do think he'll stay, but then that applies to a lot of the runners in the race this year. But laid out for the race for me, Montes Star, that's where I'm going. By the way, my nickname is Monty. There's no connection, by the way, with my choice. But anyway, there you go.
So that didn't influence your choice in the slightest?
It did when Montes passed one years and years ago. So I've done all my analysis, by the way. I did it all at the hotel. But actually, seriously, I think really has a really good chance. I think we'll thrive for actually stepping up and trip. How about you, Ella?
A little bit boring, but I like Grange Clare West, obviously at the top of the market, but I just think he ran so well last year.
Yeah.
And obviously that mistake that he made
Yes.
at the final
Yeah.
fence, I think he would have been a lot closer if he hadn't have made that mistake. He'll enjoy the drying conditions. They've had a little bit of rain. We spoke to Salika earlier,
Yeah.
but only 2 mils, so nothing to really influence
Yeah.
the ground. And I think we know he stays, we know he likes a track. I think he's the winner for me. But as I said, there's plenty that you can make cases for at bigger prices, the likes of Jerry Colomb, Stella Story,
Yeah,
although
Stella Story.
it was a little bit of a question mark that Robbie Dunn got the
got
ride
yes,
for that,
yes.
which makes him, I think, the 5th string out of Gordon's team, which I was quite surprised by.
Yeah, actually, funny enough, I was looking at Stella's Story this morning and thinking the same thing. Interesting enough, I mean, look, there's plenty. I'm curious about Spanish Harlem because his form figures are pretty awful in a way. He pulls up, unseats at the last, went in front recently. If he takes to Aintree, I think he'll stay big time.
He's been unlucky this season,
Yeah,
hasn't he?
he has, and he has got talent, and he's quite a big price, and that he could be a good each way selection for me.
And it will be pretty good for the sponsors because they own that horse, Spanish
Yes, they do
Harlem.
indeed. Yes, so, I mean that's. And I'm just going to mention one of the horses as well because Gorgeous Tom, and that's not because I'm just thinking of a Tom Collins cocktail, by the way, just to make a drink slick.
What about our gorgeous Tom Stanley?
Well, yeah, well, absolutely. Go on, no, go on. He won't settle down with the rest of the day now. Where is he?
Nice compliment for Tom there.
Yeah, there we have. But interesting. So I've moved on, haven't I?
Back to gorgeous Tom, the racehorse.
Same yard as Montes Star,
Yep.
interesting enough. But I do think, again, I liked his performance in the big chase at Newbury. I really did, actually, the way he stayed on. But, so there we go. Very, very exciting. Isn't it wonderful to be here? Come on.
Absolutely, there is definitely some excitement in the air ahead of Grand National Day. You just can't beat the atmosphere here.
You can't beat the atmosphere, and I'm going to have that sausage and mash in a moment.
Yeah, we're going to tuck in.
Yeah, we are.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone. Cheers.
Cheers.